with the sculptural decorations. The Dharmadevi sculpture is having the art style of 13th century AD. The temple has an entrance gopura, wide prakara, vimana and kalasthapana mandapa with Pandukashila. There is a flight of steps to reach the open terrace that houses the Pandukashila. Tirunarungondai Hill Temple is in the southern end of Thondai Nadu and Thirumalai in the western end of Thondai Nadu. It is near Arani town on the Arani-Polur road. Thirumalai is the name of the hill as well as the village. The hill temple is Sri Shaila Kshetra. It is also referred to as Arahantagiri, Hills of Arhata, the Tirthankara, and Yenguna Iraivan Kundru, Hill of the Gods with 8 gunas in the inscriptions. Thirumalai village is about 12 kilometers from the Polur Taluk headquarters and about 25 kilometers from Arani. This Jain center has a continuous history since 8th century AD. There are natural caves in the hill and ancient paintings. The crest of the hills and at the top the structural temple complex is majestic monolith of Lord Neminatha, the 22nd Tirthankara, with serene look and is 16 feet tall, carved on the face of a big boulder. The temple complex presents a somewhat three-tiered appearance. In the ground there is a structural temple called Kundavai Jinalaya. Above that, in a raised plain, is the Sri Neminatha temple, and to its left is the cave temple called Arai-Kovil, the cellular temple. And above all at top is the colossal image of Lord Neminatha and a small temple for Lord Parshvanatha. The topmost point of the hill is adorned with footprints of acharyas. The lithic records in the center begin in 881 AD and continue up to 1373 AD and belong to Chora, Rashtrakuta, Adiyaman, Pandya, Sambhuvaraya and Vijayanagara periods. This Jain temple complex of Thirumalai attracted people from far and wide places and endowed with land grants and gold by the royal families as well as common man. The temple complex is under the care of the Archaeological Survey of India. Recently, a Jain mutt called Arahantagiri Jain mutt was established with Swasthi Sri Dhavalakirti Swamigal as the head of the mutt. Jain mutt renders educational and social service in that area. Lord Neminathar High School, Elementary School, Nursery School and Free Students Hostel are popular in the district. Tirupan Malai, known as Pancha Pandava Malai cave with sculptures. The sculpture of Dharmadevi is unique and exquisite. In the nearby district headquarters Velur town, there is a hill at Velappadi with large footprints and Kannada inscriptions. Other Jain center of antiquity are Narayanapuram caves and Chinnapalapakkam, where there is a Pallava inscription. This chain of Jain centers with Jaina vestiges ends at Vallimalai, the northernmost Jain center of Tamil Nadu. It is near the village called Melpadi, about 15 kilometers from Gudiyattam, a taluk headquarters. The natural caves in this Vallimalai were carved with Jaina sculptures during the rule of Western Ganga king Rajamalla II in the 9th and 10th centuries AD. One of the natural caves with Tirthankara sculptures was taken over by the Hindus and converted into a Murugan temple. And today, Vallimalai, the name of the hill, has become the name of the village. There are 2 groups of sculptures in the cave on the right side by the Murugan temple. And a little beyond the Murugan temple on the left side also, there is a cave with a massive Tirthankara sculpture and a panel of sculptures. In the more prominent cave, with a flight of steps on the right side, there is a sculpture of Lord Parshvanatha, other Tirthankaras and Yakshi and Yakshas. These sculptures are massive in Ganga style. At the rim of the cave, there are small sculptures representing the acharyas, with Kannada label inscriptions below them. The inscriptions and the sculptures at Vallimalai point to the popularity of Jainism with the royal support of the Gangas during the 9th and 10th centuries AD. In addition to the massive Tirthankara sculptures, the Acharya sculptures are also seen. It is a rare and unique feature of Vallimalai. Kanchipuram, 75 kilometers from Chennai, was called Kanchi in ancient days and was the capital of the Pallavas. It became a stronghold of Jainism in the medieval period and continued to be a Jaina epicenter for centuries. A colony of the Jains established at the place called Tirupparuttikkundram, also known as Jinakanchi, as compared to Shivakanchi and Vishnukanchi. It is on the southern bank of the river Vegavati and about 4 kilometers southwest of the present town Kanchipuram. Jinakanchi Jain temple received endowments, the Palli Chandams, from the Pallava, Chola and Vijayanagar kings. There are 2 temples at Jinakanchi dedicated to the 24th Tirthankara, Lord Vardhamana Mahavira, locally worshipped as Trilokyanatha, the god of 3 worlds, and the other to the 8th Tirthankara, Lord Chandraprabha. Both the temples date back to the Pallava period. The Pallava king Simhavarman in the 6th century AD had granted the village Amanaserkai and the lands in the village Damar, now called Damal, to the reputed Acharya Vajranandi for conducting worship to the Jina at Vardhamana temple. In the 12th century AD, Vardhamana temple was considerably enlarged with additional shrines for Dharmadevi and Pushpadanta, the 9th Tirthankara, and a separate group of shrines for Tirthankaras Padmaprabha, Vasupujya and Parshvanatha. The Sangeeta Mandapa of this temple complex was built in 1387 by Irugappa, the famous general of the Vijayanagar king Bukka II. The ceiling of the Sangeeta Mandapam contained 2 layers of paintings painted during the Vijayanagara and the Nayaka rules. The earlier layer has disappeared and the second layer, depicting the Panchakalyana Garbhavadharna, womb, Janma, birth, Parinishkrama, renunciation, Kevalgnan, omniscience, Parinirvana, liberation, Moksha, incidents in the life of Rishabha, Neminatha, Mahavira and Ambika Yakshi. The paintings were restored and renovated recently with modern paints. The Vardhamana temple is flanked by the Trikuda Basti, temple with 3 sanctum sanctorums. The Vimanas over the sanctum sanctorum depict the 3 different styles. In the Prakara on the west, there is a Kora tree with a platform and a few footprints. They were established in memory of the reputed Acharyas who lived in Jinakanchi. Among the famous Acharyas, Sri Vamana Muni was the author of Merumandra Purana in Tamil. He is also supposed to have written a Tamil commentary for Acharya Kundakunda's Samayasara in Prakrit and a commentary for Nilakesi at Tamil Kavya. The monastic establishment is called Jinakanchi Mutt. Those Acharyas adorned the pontificate at different periods of time. Today, the Jinakanchi Mutt functions from Melsittamur near Sinji in Viduppuram district. Karandai Tiruppanamur, the twin Jain villages, and Arpakam and Karuppankundru near Madurantakam with stone beds, sculptures and inscriptions. Karandai is 20 kilometers from Kanchipuram. It is hallowed with memories of the great logician Acharya Akalanka. The Jain temple is called Akalanka Basti. Karandai generally means dwelling of Munis. That is why the Karandai is also called Munigiri. Karandai and Tiruparambur in olden days formed a single unit.